Today I have an unboxing. Yes, I tried to resist this purchase, but it was something that I had been wanting even before it was designed and released. Let me explain. I think many of you who've been watching my channel for a while now will know what this is. I wanted to show you this is the outer box that it came with, the shipping box. I'd never seen a little caricature like this on the external boxes, so I thought I'd show you. I already opened the ribbon, the receipt, and shipping labels in here. So let's get into it. I've taken a peek already myself to make sure everything looks okay. And it is none other than the new small Louis Vuitton key pouch. So let me give you a good look, and then in this video I'm going to jam pack a ton of information, including size comparisons, what fits inside, and how this little key pouch looks when it's put inside other bags, like mini bags. So I've grabbed like 7 of my handbags from my closet, and I'm going to show you how this fits in each of them. But here is the monogram, and then of course you've got the zipper pull. And this is something that's new. I haven't ordered anything from LV in quite a while, but there's an external little tag. I'm just going to remove that for the purposes of getting started with this video so you can get a clear shot of the pouch itself. And I will say I was expecting to see some quality issues because I have seen more than a handful of quality issues from newer LV over the years. But let me show you. This is the key ring. It's got the shiny gold tone hardware. And on the inside, don't know if you can see that, it says Louis Vuitton Paris, made in France. Now on the website, it says it can be made in France, Italy, Spain, or US. This one happens to be made in France. There is a card slot, which everyone seems to be excited about. I'm one of those people. This is partially the reason why I decided to make this purchase. So this card slot is going to be a game changer, and then you've got the main compartment. I'll show you how I plan to use this, but I will say that the zipper is smooth. Let me show you again. And I had actually reached out to my sales associate at the LV flagship store and asked her if she could get me one of these. And she said that there was 1 or 2 in stock, but neither of the zippers were really smooth. And she knows that I'm kind of a picky buyer. But anyway, I saw this pop up on the website, so I thought, okay, you know what? Let me just order it online and take my chances. Well, it was on back order for like 3 or 4 weeks. I've had this now for about 2 weeks. I just haven't had a chance to use it or film it. And this is what it is. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated. It's just canvas. It's going to be really, really durable. And no wonkiness, no odd odors. I've had some weird smelling pieces come to me in the mail in the past. So I do plan to keep this and use this exactly how I had intended to, because I had actually hoped for something like this even before LV made it. So let me explain. I have this mini key pouch from LV. This is the original size, and I've had this for a few years. And I always say this is my most used little pouch, or SLG. And that is because I have my keys and my library card in here, and I take it with me everywhere unless I'm traveling out of the country. So this is the size comparison. Obviously one is in monogram, the other is in damier bin, but you get the point. It is shorter in height and also shorter in length compared to the new small. So they're calling this a small. There's also the medium, and there's the large. So there are 3 new sizes, and I was tempted to take a look at the other 2 sizes, but honestly, I couldn't think of what I would use those for. The reason why I got so excited about this is because I always thought, well, I use this for my keys every day, and then I use my Chanel Mini O case as a wallet a lot of the times. So I'll stick my cards and cash and coins and receipts, everything in here. And these 2 are the items that I almost always take out with me in pretty much every handbag. In the wintertime, I wasn't really carrying a handbag. I was just wearing my long puffy coat and shoving these 2 in my pockets. And I remember thinking it would be nice if these were just combined to one piece. The reason why I thought that is because this one here doesn't have a key ring, right? So the keys are going to be just loose if you put them in here. This is just one single compartment. And this one, while you can add your cards and cash just a little bit, I have run into the issue where I would put my ID or card in here, and then I would pull out my keys to use them, and as this is dangling, somehow the cards or cash would fall out. And I just thought, that's not really secure. So even though I do sometimes put my cards and cash in here, I haven't ever felt like it was the ideal situation. I'm actually using this one right now because I was traveling in the Catskills Mountains with my daughter and I didn't want to bring anything designer. I was dressed very low-key casual. This one is unbranded. It's from Dress Up Your Purse. You guys know I'm a huge fan of them. This one here is $45 in all grained Togo leather. It is nearly identical to size and silhouette of the Chanel one. Even the color happens to be similar, as you can see. But obviously this is not branded, like I said. This is very obviously Chanel with the CC and the caviar quilting, but this size is really handy. This is called the Mini M case from Dress Up Your Purse. So if you wanted a more affordable option without the keyring, this doesn't have a keyring, this one here goes for $45, and you can always use my promo code, which I have down below, for 15% off. It's hellocatwalk. But this one I believe right now retails for about $600 or so. Now, this one currently retails for $330, and then the new small one retails for $365. So I thought for a $35 price difference, actually it's kind of a decent deal, right? It's not that big of a difference considering how much more you get. And I wanted to combine these two, like I said. So I'll just grab one bill. And since all of these cards in here have my name written on them, I'll just use this card, which is my son's arcade card, and make believe this is my ID. I would stick these in the mini key pouch, and it actually fits perfectly fine if you want to be really minimal and just run like this with your keys out or in. If you have small keys like I do, no large car key fob, it all fits nicely. But like I said, when I take one of these out, sometimes the other items fall out. So I always thought, wouldn't it be nice if I could have something where I can put my keys in and all my other cards, cash, and bits and bobs. So let's see if I can put my cards and bill in there. Keeps it separate. It's definitely much more secure. And then I have other little things in here. So I have like a lip balm, a Band-Aid for my kids, a hair tie. You get the point, and sometimes I'll put even more items, but I can put all kinds of stuff in here, and then I can transfer my keys onto here. So on the original one, you pull, pops right out. Let me see. Same mechanism on the new one. Very easy to transfer. And this way it's all in one. And I can pop it in. And you can see now I don't need these. I can just take this one, and it feels really nice. I know this is gonna last a really long time. I have been resisting purchasing anything new from LV just because I feel like I have plenty of items from the brand, but this was definitely something that caught my attention right away. So let me give you a quick size comparison of some of the other items. Again, here it is against the Chanel Mini O case. It is pretty much, I'd say nearly identical in size. I'd say it's very similar. And then of course that means it'll be just as similar in size with the Dress Up Your Purse version. And then I already showed you what it looks like compared to the mini key pouch. I also have the black Mini M case from Dress Up Your Purse, same one, but just different color. Black zipper, it's like the all black one. So as you can see, I really like this size. I find it to be super practical. Here it is against the smallest kirigami, which sometimes I use this as a mini wallet as well, but I haven't been using it as much these days. I think that the next size up, the in-between middle size kirigami, will probably be more similar to this new small key pouch, but I wanted to show you anyway. And then I think a lot of people are interested in this comparison here. So this is the mini pochette with the small key pouch. Now, In terms of length, it is very similar. Turn it around. Here I have opened both zippers so you can see that the mini pochette extends a little bit further. So it's a smidge longer. And then if you look from this side here, of course, you've got more depth on the mini pochette, whereas the key pouch is flatter, although it's very pliable and I think you can puff up. The mini M case and the O case from Chanel, they also fit more than you would expect because they can puff up because they're pretty pliable. But here's what it looks like. The one thing I will say is the mini pochette has this chain that is not entirely removable. I think many of us know already. It's removable only on one side, and you can clip it to the other side to turn it into a little wristlet. But for those of you who want this entirely off, you're not going to be able to take this off completely unless you decide to just destroy it and completely remove it yourself by opening the hinges here. So for that reason, this one here is much simpler. Also, there is a huge price difference. So the mini pochette is now a whopping $760. Yes, and like I said, this one here is going for $365, which means that the mini pochette price is more than double the price of the new small key pouch. That's kind of insane. Now, you can definitely fit more in here because, again, the design is opened up in terms of the depth, and mini pochette diehard fans will stick to this, but I did a video on this not too long ago saying that this might become redundant or less popular, especially given the price increases. So if you're interested in that video, I will link it up above. I think this might replace the mini pochette for a lot of people, especially those who are just starting to get into LV. Now I do have that one card in here, but I want to see how many more would fit. So here I've got 7 more cards, which means that a total of 8 cards would be going in with this one bill here. So let's see if it all fits. Kind of a lot to squeeze into that slot. Yeah, so 8 cards are fitting, but it's really snug. All right, so I've reduced it to 5 cards in total, plus the bill, and that actually fits really easily. So no problems there. And then of course in the main compartment, you can fit so much more. All right, so here's another pouch that I like. It's a little bit bigger. I picked this up in Tokyo when I was traveling over the summer, but I've got a bunch of stuff in here. So let's just see a travel size perfume, a nail file, hand lotion, and an extra contact lens in case the ones I have in my eyes pop out. I have that fear. It hasn't happened in years, but just in case. So let's just see if these will fit. Of course, you've got the 5 cards and a bill in the card slot. You've got my keys already laying down in here. I've got a Band-Aid and already a lip balm and a hair tie. Just like a hodgepodge of things. Let's get my hand lotion in there, perfume, nail file, probably some small pack of gum can also fit, contact. Okay, so there you have it. That all fits. There's actually a little bit of space up here. Here's another lip. I can lay that up at the top. Let's see if it closes. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty packed now because there's sort of oddly shaped items all thrown in, but it fits. So if I wanted to just grab this, it'll be easier than grabbing my key pouch separately from my phone and then another pouch or a wallet. So this just kind of consolidates my items for me. So I don't think that you necessarily need this. You really don't need this if you already have a key pouch that works for you and you don't mind having multiple pouches, or you're not really a pouch person, so you have your keys and then you've got all your other stuff like just in your handbag. But I am a pouch person, and this combination for me it really works. And I will show you how this looks inside some of my handbags. All right, so I'm gonna start with some really small bags because I think it's important to see how this will fit in the mini bags. This is the Gucci Mini Horsebit 1955. It is one of my smaller bags, and it's small but mighty. And this is what it looks like on the inside, and I will show you with this packed. Wow, okay. It takes up a lot of space, but it fits. Okay, so let's see if it closes okay. Yeah. So it does fit in even this mini Gucci horse bit. By the way, Gucci, so much going on in Gucci right now. I wonder if I should do a separate video. It's like just sensational stuff happening. Let me know if you're interested in a Gucci video. But it does fit in this guy. And then let's see in my Chanel wallet on chain. So this also fits in here. Again, it takes up a lot of space, but it does fit even though it's packed pretty full. And it closes up just as fine. Okay. Then I've got my Hermes Mini Evelyn without the strap at the moment. To show you. So this is more of a vertical bag. So I put the pouch in vertically and you can see it fits fine. That's also how I put my phone in, standing up vertically. I want to see if it fits. Oh, huh. It actually fits horizontally just fine too. The mini pochette is a little tricky to get in this way, but because this is just a little bit smaller, it works. So that's good. And then of course, I should show you in the LV pochette how it looks. Oh, here's a quick size comparison from the outside. Okay. I've got a chain in here. Let me take that out. And that fits quite easily, actually. Ta-da! Okay. Next, I will show you in my mini square flap. This is a pretty compact bag. Oh, it fits. Again, the mini pochette is a little tight to get in here, but the small key pouch, it fits easily. Right? You see that? Voila. And then I will also show you in the mini rectangular flap. It's longer. This is going to fit fine. I can tell already. There you have it. Okay. And one more bag. This video would not be complete if I didn't show you my pochette Matisse, my very first LV purchase ever. Take out the strap here. Okay, so this fits easy peasy in the front compartment. And then in the larger middle compartment, of course, it fits. Now in the back, I probably wouldn't put it because this is a slimmer pocket, but if you really needed to and wanted to, you could fit it there as well. And last but not least, there is the back pocket on the pochette Matisse, and I don't know why you'd put this in here, but you could. I actually put my phone in here all the time, and that fits just fine. So there you have it. Hopefully this video has been helpful. I know there's a ton of videos out there now on YouTube showing this small key pouch, but I don't think I ever saw any videos showing how this fits inside handbags, so I thought that would be helpful. And then of course, a lot fits inside here as well. One thing I will say is that I really appreciate that the monogram here lines up. Not all LV pieces line up like this. You can see how the floral is lining up here. I remember years ago, back in the day, people had said that if the monogram didn't line up, then it's considered not real. And some people even said that if the floral detail, the monogram, was cut by a seam, then that means it's not real. And of course, we know that's just not true. As nice as that would be for LV to be so meticulous with their monogram, you know, there's a lot of pieces where you can see it doesn't line up exactly, and sometimes the monogram is cut off and incomplete. This is not so bad, but let me see my pochette. Yeah, so like here you see the floral and then another half of a floral. So technically, if it were true that in order for this to be authentic, it has to not be cut off and all connected, then what does this mean? I mean, I bought this at the boutique, right? I bought all of these LV pieces from the boutique. So I do appreciate that this is all lining up pretty nicely. It feels good. There have also been concerns about the LV canvas becoming quite thin and low quality over the years, and I did also see that myself in some other bags that I looked at. But this feels quite thick, and it's reinforced on the inside, right? So maybe because it's an SLG, they know that it has to be really hard wearing, so they made this to be longer lasting. There's no glazing on a piece like this, so you don't have to worry about glazing cracking or melting or issues like that. We'll see how the hardware holds up, but I think it'll be fine. I've never really had any issues with LV hardware. If there are scratches or minor tarnishing, I figure that comes with the territory when this is brass, I believe. And some people have said that they really appreciate how the zipper extends all the way to the end here with hardly any gap at the edge. I personally probably would not have even noticed that. On my original mini key pouch, there's also a very small amount of opening here. It extends pretty much to the end, but it sounds like some people have key pouches where there's like a large gap here, and so they were bothered by that, and they were pleased to see that this new small size goes to the end. So I don't know, things to consider. Oh, maybe it's this way. This would make more sense. Look how tiny that gap is. So I don't really have a gap, but people have mentioned that. Same on this side, really small gap. I think we can all be quite particular about different aspects of what we purchase. So some people are picky about certain things and not really caring about other things. For me, I never really noticed this, but I believe some people are really happy about the minimal gapping here. I'm not one to want every type of LV SLG under the sun. I'm not just merely collecting these. I want them to be functional, and I'm really glad that this is going to work out for me. So I'm going to start using it immediately. I just wanted to show you guys first. I hope that this video was helpful in some way. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I'll be happy to answer them. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.